Get out. The words don't echo. They slice. Daniel doesn't look up from the tablet in his hand. He sits on a velvet armchair that looks more like a throne, his legs crossed, a glass of untouched whiskey beside him. Standing before him is Jessica Lee. She is trembling. Her mascara is perfect. Her dress costs more than a house, but right now, she looks like a prey animal caught in headlights. Jessica, stammering, but Director Park, my father said. Daniel, interrupting, voice low. Your father owes the Jumga Plaza Syndicate $4 billion. He sent you here not as a daughter, but as a down payment. I don't accept damaged goods, and I don't accept bribes wrapped in silk. You have 10 seconds to leave before I have security throw you out the window. 1. Jessica gasps. The brutality of the rejection hits her physically. She spins around, sobbing, and runs out of the room, nearly tripping over her train. The heavy mahogany doors slam shut. Secretary Kim, stepping forward. Sir, that was the last candidate. The gala downstairs has already started. The board of directors is waiting. If you don't choose a fiancé tonight, the merger with the Japanese faction falls through. They demand stability. Daniel finally looks up. His eyes are cold, dark voids. There is no panic in them, only a lethal boredom. Daniel, they want a puppet show, Kim. They want me to pick a trophy so they can control my weaknesses. Every woman who walked into this room tonight had a price tag in her eyes. Secretary Kim, we are out of options, sir. The senator's daughter is downstairs. The actress is downstairs. You must walk down that staircase and pick someone. Anyone. Daniel stands up. He adjusts his cufflinks. The movement is precise, like a weapon being loaded. Daniel, fine. I'll pick someone. But it won't be anyone on their list. Moments later, the atmosphere is suffocatingly expensive. Crystal chandeliers drip light onto the heads of Korea's elite. The air smells of expensive perfume and hidden agendas. Amaka, 24, black, radiant but weary, sits in her wheelchair near the service entrance, tucked behind a massive pillar. She is invisible here. She is wearing a simple, elegant navy dress, not a designer piece, but something she sewed herself. She isn't a guest. Not really. She is the translator for the Nigerian delegation, but the delegation is currently drunk and schmoozing, leaving her abandoned in the corner. Her legs ache, a phantom pain from the accident 3 years ago. She adjusts the wheels of her chair, trying to create space as a drunk Chable Air stumbles past her, spilling champagne near her lap. Chable Air, watch it. You're blocking the path. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't even look at her face. To him, the wheelchair makes her furniture. Amaka bites her tongue. She is used to this. In Seoul, if you aren't perfect, you don't exist. If you are a foreigner, you are a curiosity. If you are a disabled foreigner without money, you are a ghost. Amaka, whispering to herself, just 1 more hour, then I can go home. Suddenly, the music stops. The heavy double doors at the top of the grand staircase swing open. The silence is instant. It's violent. Daniel Park steps onto the balcony. He is tall, dressed in a black suit that fits him like armor. He looks down at the crowd, hundreds of most beautiful, wealthy people in Asia, with absolute disdain. Secretary Kim, whispering behind him, Sir, the senator's daughter is in the front row. Red dress. Daniel ignores him. He begins to descend the stairs. Every step is a beat of a drum. Thump, thump. The crowd parts like the Red Sea. Women puff out their chests. Mothers nudge their daughters. This is the prince of the underworld, the CEO of the Phoenix Group. One look from him changes a family's destiny. He reaches the floor. The senator's daughter steps forward, smiling a practiced, dazzling smile. The famous actress flips her hair, angling for the camera. Daniel walks past them. He doesn't even blink. He walks through the center of the room, his eyes scanning the perimeter. He is hunting. The whispers begin. Where is he going? Is he leaving? Did he reject everyone? Daniel reaches the back of the room. He moves past the VIP tables. He moves past the bar. He stops at the pillar near the service entrance. Amaka looks up, her eyes widening. She looks behind her, thinking he is looking at someone else. There is no one else. There is only the wall. And her. Daniel looks down at her. For the first time all night, the ice in his eyes cracks. Just a fraction. He tilts his head, studying her face, the high cheekbones, the flawless skin, the eyes that hold a deep, ancient sadness mixed with resilience. He recognizes a defiance in her posture. She isn't shrinking away from him. She is holding her ground. Daniel, you. The word is barely a whisper, but in the silent room, it sounds like a gunshot. Amaka's heart hammers against her ribs. She grips the armrest of her chair. Amaka, excuse me? Daniel, what is your name? Amaka Okeke. Daniel, Amaka. He tastes the name. He likes it. Do you believe in destiny, Amaka? Amaka, confused, guarding herself. I believe in surviving, sir. If I'm in your way, I can move. She reaches for her wheels to back up. Daniel's hand shoots out. He grabs the handle of her wheelchair. It's possessive, dominant. Daniel, no, you don't move. Not anymore. He turns around, facing the shock crowd. Hundreds of cameras flash, blindingly bright. The senator looks furious. The models look insulted. Daniel raises his voice. It booms with authority. Daniel, the search is over. He looks back down at Amaka. Daniel, this is the woman. Amaka, what? No, wait. Daniel, leaning down, close to her ear. Don't speak. Just nod. Amaka, I don't even know you. You can't just... Daniel, do you want to leave this room as invisible as you entered it? Or do you want to own it? He doesn't wait for an answer. He signals Secretary Kim. Daniel, prepare the announcement. Amaka Okeke is the future mistress of the Phoenix Group. Pandemonium erupts. Reporters scream questions. A foreigner? A disabled woman? Is this a charity stunt? Daniel's face hardens. He glares at a reporter who shouted the word cripple. The reporter instantly drops his camera, terrified by the look in Daniel's eyes. Daniel steps behind the wheelchair. He begins to push her, not toward the exit, but toward the stage. Amaka, hissing, stop this. I am not your prop. I have a job. I have a life. Daniel, pushing her through the crowd. Your job pays you minimum wage and treats you like furniture. Tonight, you are a queen. Play the part or we both look weak. They reach the center of the stage. The lights are blinding. Daniel stands beside her, his hand resting protectively, possessively, on her shoulder. He takes the microphone. Daniel, you all look confused. You wonder why I walk past diamonds to pick up a stone. The crowd murmurs. Amaka flinches at the word stone. Daniel, but you are blind. You see a chair. I see a throne. You see difference. I see the only honest face in this room. He looks at Amaka. For a second, she almost believes him. His eyes are intense, searching, and seemingly sincere. He kneels down on one knee, not to propose, but to be at eye level with her in front of the world. He takes her hand. His skin is hot. Amaka, will you do me the honor of standing by my side against this world? The pressure is immense. If she says no, she humiliates the most powerful man in Seoul. If she says yes, her life changes forever. She looks at the crowd. She sees the jealousy, the hate, but she also sees fear. Fear of him. And right now, he is offering her his shield. Amaka, voice trembling. Yes. The crowd erupts into polite, confused applause. Daniel smiles. It's a dazzling, handsome smile that makes the cameras go wild. He leans in to kiss her cheek, shielding his mouth from the microphones and the cameras. His lips brush her ear. The smile stays on his face, but his voice drops to a terrifying Arctic whisper. Daniel, whispering, good girl, now don't try to run, because the man who paralyzed you 3 years ago is standing in the front row, and I just made you his #1 target. He pulls back, smiling lovingly at her horrified face. Daniel, loudly for crowd. She's overwhelmed with joy. Amaka freezes, her blood turning to ice as she looks into the crowd, and sees a man with a silver scar watching her with a smile that promises death. 1 hour later, the heavy steel door of the penthouse creates a seal against the world. The noise of the gala, the paparazzi, the screaming questions, all vanishes, replaced by the hum of high-end air purification and the ticking of a grandfather clock. Daniel pushes Amaka's wheelchair into the center of the living room. It is a vast, cold space, marble floors, minimal furniture, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Seoul skyline. He lets go of the chair and walks straight to the bar. He pours a drink, downing it in one gulp. Amaka sits there, her hands gripping her knees. The terror from the stage hasn't left her. Who is he? Daniel doesn't turn around. Daniel. Whiskey. Water? I have sparkling water. Amaka, voice rising. Don't play games with me. You said the man who did this to me is here. Who is he? Why did you drag me into this? Daniel turns. The loving fiancé mask is gone. The cold CEO is back. Daniel. His name is Director Han. He runs the logistics for the Eastern faction. 3 years ago, you were walking home from the university library. A black SUV ran a red light, crushed your legs, and drove off. Police report said, unidentified driver. Case closed in 2 weeks. Amaka's breath hitches. She remembers the headlights, the sound of metal hitting bone, the rain. Amaka, how do you know that? Daniel, because I own the police precinct that buried the file. And I know Han was driving. He was drunk, celebrating a deal he made by betraying my father. He walks toward her, his steps slow, predatory. Daniel, I didn't pick you by accident. Amaka, I didn't pick you because of your quiet dignity. I picked you because you're the only loose-end Han left behind. You are the witness he thought was dead. Amaka feels sick. The romantic fairy tale the world just saw was a lie, a tactical maneuver. Amaka, so I'm bait. You put a target on my back to flush him out. Daniel, correct. Amaka, you're a monster. Daniel, shrugging, I'm a businessman. And right now, you are my most valuable asset. As my fiancé, you are untouchable to everyone except him. He will try to finish the job. And when he does, I will kill him. Amaka, tears welling up. And what happens to me when he tries? Do I die so you can get your revenge? Daniel stops right in front of her. He crouches down again. This time there are no cameras. Daniel, no, because unlike the rest of the city, I pay my debts. Daniel, you don't remember me, do you? Amaka stares at him. She searches his face. The sharp jawline, the scar near his eyebrow. Amaka, I've never met you before tonight. Daniel, look closer. Flashback sequence. 5 years ago. It is pouring rain. A young Daniel, 25, is slumped against a dumpster. He is dressed in rags, hiding. He has been stabbed in the side. Blood pools in the dirty water. He is dying. Passers-by look at him and assume he is a drunk or a junkie. They step over his legs. Then a girl appears. Younger, walking. Her legs are strong. She is carrying an umbrella and a bag of takeout food. She stops. She doesn't look away. She kneels in the mud, ruining her jeans. Young Amaka, hey, stay awake. She pulls out a scarf and presses it against his wound. She takes the hot container of soup she just bought and presses it into his cold hands. Young Daniel, weakly, go away. Dangerous. Young Amaka, shut up and eat. You can't die here. It's too dirty. She calls an ambulance, but she stays with him, holding the umbrella over his head while she gets soaked. She talks to him to keep him conscious. Young Amaka, my dad says the world breaks everyone, but it only kills the ones who stop fighting. Don't stop fighting. The sirens approach. She slips away before the police arrive, leaving the umbrella over him. Daniel watches the recognition dawn in Amaka's eyes. Amaka, the boy in the alley, the one with the knife wound. Daniel, softly, I track you down a year later. But by then, the accident had already happened. I was too late to stop Han. but I swore I wouldn't be too late to avenge you. He stands up, walking to the window. Daniel, I have rejected every woman the board offer me because they are part of the system that created men like Han. But you saved a dying rat in an alley when you had nothing to gain. He turns back to her. Daniel, I am using you as bait, yes. But I swear on my life, Amaka, no one will touch a hair on your head. You helped me destroy Han, and I will give you the world. The best doctors, the best life, justice. Amaka looks at her hands. She is terrified, but beneath the fear, there's a spark of anger. The man who took her legs is out there, and this dangerous, powerful man is offering her a weapon. She looks up. Her eyes are dry now. Amaka, I don't want the world, Daniel. I just want a man who did this to pay. Daniel, then we have a deal? Amaka, we have a deal, but if you use me as a human shield, I will kill you myself. Daniel smiles. A real smile this time. Dark, amused, and impressed. Daniel, I look forward to it. Daniel gives Amaka the master bedroom. He takes the couch. He wants her to feel safe. Amaka lies in the massive bed, unable to sleep. The silk sheets feel like a trap. She hears a noise, a subtle click, the electronic lock on the balcony door. She sits up. Amaka, Daniel? No answer. A shadow moves across the curtains. A figure in black, rappelling down from the roof. Amaka tries to reach for her wheelchair, but it's too far away. She is stranded in the bed. The figure steps into the room. A knife glints in the moonlight. Assassin, whispering. Director Han sends his regards. Amaka screams. The assassin lunges. Suddenly, the bedroom door explodes inward. Daniel is there. He isn't wearing his suit. He is in a white dress shirt, a gun in his hand. Bang. He doesn't hesitate. He shoots the assassin in the shoulder. The man stumbles back, dropping the knife. Daniel rushes forward, tackling the assassin to the ground. It is brutal, visceral. Daniel rains punches down on the man's face until the intruder stops moving. Daniel stands up, breathing hard. He is covered in the assassin's blood. He turns to Amaka. She is shaking, clutching the sheets. He rushes to the bed, checking her. His hands, usually so cold, are frantic. Daniel, did he touch you? Are you hurt? Amaka, I know. I'm fine. Daniel grabs her face, forcing her to look at him. His eyes are wild with adrenaline and rage. Daniel, they moved faster than I thought. They think you're weak because you can't walk. He pulls her into a hug, burying his face in her neck. It's an intimate, desperate gesture that shocks both of them. Daniel, they made a mistake. They just woke up the devil. The apartment is a fortress. Guards are stationed at every door. Amaka sits at the dining table, but she isn't hiding anymore. The attack changed something in her. The fear has calcified into resolve. She is reading files, stacks of them. Daniel walks in, adjusting his tie. He looks tired. He hasn't slept in 2 days, watching the monitors. Stop reading those. It's not your job. Amaka, not looking up. If I'm the target, I need to know the players. Director Han launders money through a shipping company in Incheon. But look at this. She slides a paper across the table. Amaka, the dates don't match. He was in Busan the night of my accident. The police report says he was in Seoul, but his credit card shows a transaction at a hotel in Busan at 9 p.m. Daniel freezes. He picks up the paper. He scans it. His eyes widen. Daniel, I missed this. My analysts missed this. Amaka, your analysts look for big numbers. I look for inconsistencies. When you spend 3 years watching the world from a chair, you notice the cracks. Daniel looks at her with a new expression. Respect. Daniel, if he was in Busan, he wasn't the driver. Amaka, he covered it up. He took the blame for the DUI because the real driver was someone he couldn't afford to expose. Someone more important than him. Daniel's face goes pale. Daniel, there's only one person Han will protect with his life. Amaka, who? Daniel, My father, the revelation hangs in the air like poison gas. Daniel sinks into a chair. The invincible so looks like a broken child for a moment. Daniel, my father, Chairman Park. He was the one driving. He crippled you. Amaka. And Han covered it up to gain favor. That's why Han got the promotion to director 3 years ago. Daniel laughs. A bitter, dark sound. Daniel, I spent years hating Han, plotting to kill him, and the monster was sitting at the head of my own family table. He stands up, knocking the chair over. Daniel, I have to end this. Tonight. Amaka. Daniel, wait. You can't just storm in there. If it's your father, he owns the police, the judges, everyone. Daniel, I don't care. I will burn the whole company down if I have to. Amaka, no. If you use force, they will bury us. We need to be smarter. We need to expose them publicly. At the shareholders' meeting tomorrow. Daniel, it's too dangerous for you to go there. Amaka, I'm already in danger. Daniel, the only way out is through. Let me help you. Daniel looks at her. She is fierce, beautiful. Daniel, you realize if we do this, we lose everything. The money, the status. I will be destitute. Amaka, smiling softly. I was happy when I was eating takeout soup in an alleyway. Were you happy in this penthouse? Daniel stares at her. The connection between them snaps into place. It's no longer a deal. It's love. Daniel, no, I wasn't. The shareholders' meeting is a sea of suits. Chairman Park, 60s imposing, sits at the head of the table. Director Han is beside him, looking smug. Daniel enters, pushing Amaka in her wheelchair. The room goes silent. Chairman Park. Daniel, this is a business meeting. Remove your pet. Daniel stops the wheelchair at the end of the table. He doesn't sit. Daniel, she isn't a pet, father. She is the witness you failed to kill. The chairman's eyes flicker. Han reaches for his pocket. Likely a phone to call security, or worse. Amaka, voice steady projecting. 3 years ago on May 12th, a black Mercedes. License plate 55, GA 9012. You were drunk. You hit me. You backed up to see if I was dead. And when you saw me moving, you drove away. The shareholders begin to murmur. Chairman Park. Lies. Slander. Security. Daniel. We have the credit card receipts. Father. We have the GPS data from your car that night. Data Director Han tried to delete but failed. Daniel throws a file on the table. Daniel. It's all uploaded to the cloud and sent to every news outlet in Korea. It went live 5 minutes ago. The chairman's face turns purple. Chairman Park. You ungrateful dog. I built this empire for you. Daniel. You built it on blood. I don't want it. Director Han realizes it's over. He panics. He pulls a gun from his jacket. Not a phone. A gun. Han, you think you can ruin us? He aims at Amaka. Daniel. No. Everything moves in slow motion. Daniel dives in front of the wheelchair. Bang. The bullet hits Daniel in the chest. Amaka screams. Daniel falls backward, landing in Amaka's lap. Blood blooms on his white shirt. Stark and bright. Security bursts in. Police sirens wail outside. Daniel had called it beforehand. Han is tackled. The chairman sits in shock as handcuffs are slapped on him. But Amaka sees none of it. She is holding Daniel's face. Amaka. Daniel. Stay with me. Look at me. Daniel. Coughing blood, smiling weakly. I told you. I'd pay my debts. Amaka. No, this wasn't the deal. You don't get to die. Daniel. You saved me in the rain. Now, I save you. His eyes roll back. His hand slips from her grasp. Amaka screamed tears through the corporate boardroom, louder than the sirens, louder than the chaos. Hospital room. 2 weeks later, asterisk. The beep of the heart monitor is steady. Daniel lies in bed, pale, bandaged, but alive. Amaka sits beside him. She is reading a book, her hand resting lightly on his arm. He stirs. His eyes flutter open. Daniel. Raspy voice. Water. Amaka drops the book. She pours water and holds the straw to his lips. Amaka, you're awake. The doctor said. He said you were lucky the bullet missed your heart by an inch. Daniel, I have a habit of surviving. He looks around the room. It's a standard VIP room. No guards. No frantic secretaries. Daniel, the company? Amaka, gone. The stock crashed. The board resigned. Your father and Han are in prison awaiting trial. The assets are frozen. Daniel lets out a long breath. He closes his eyes. Daniel, so I have nothing. Amaka, you have the medical bill. It's quite high. Daniel chuckles, which turns into a wince of pain. Amaka, and you have me? He opens his eyes. He looks at her. Daniel, I promise you the world. Amaka, I promise you justice and wealth. I can't give you the wealth anymore. Amaka, you gave me justice. You took a bullet for me. That is worth more than your company. 6 months later, asterisk. It is autumn. Golden leaves cover the ground. Daniel is walking. He has a cane, limping slightly from the injury, but he is strong. He is wearing a simple sweater and jeans, no more armor-like suits. He pushes Amaka's wheelchair along the path. They aren't surrounded by paparazzi. They are anonymous. Just a couple in the park. Daniel, the new startup is approved. It's small, tech consulting. No mafia ties. No money laundering. Amaka, sounds boring. Daniel, it is. I love it. He stops the chair near a bench. He sits down, facing her. Daniel, I've been thinking. Amaka, that's dangerous. Daniel, that night at the gala, when I proposed on stage, it was fake. It was a tactic. Amaka, I know. Daniel, I don't want it to be fake anymore. Amaka goes still. The wind blows leaves around them. Daniel reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a ring. It's not a diamond the size of an egg. It's a simple gold band, set with a small, unique sapphire. Daniel, I don't have $1 billion. I have a limp, a criminal record, and a small apartment. But I see you, Amaka. I see the queen who saved a boy in an alley. I see the woman who took down an empire with a stack of paper. He takes her hand. Daniel, will you choose me? Not the CEO. Just Daniel. Amaka looks at the ring, then at him. She remembers the way the elites looked at her. Like trash. She remembers the way Daniel looks at her. Like she is the sun. Amaka, I chose you 5 years ago in the rain, Daniel. I was just waiting for you to catch up. She holds out her hand. He slides a ring on. He leans in and kisses her. Gentle, real. A photographer, just a student with a camera, walks by. He sees a beautiful black woman in the wheelchair and the scarred Korean man kissing her under the falling leaves. He snaps a photo. 1 year later, asterisk. A photo hangs on the wall of a prestigious gallery. It is titled True Power. It shows Amaka and Daniel in the park. Daniel stands in the crowd at the gallery opening. He is holding Amaka's hand. They are looking at the photo. Daniel, they still stare, you know. Amaka, let them stare. She turns her wheelchair to face him. Amaka, let them see what love looks like when it survives the fire. Daniel smiles. He leans down and kisses her forehead. Daniel, let's go home. They turn and leave the gallery. The camera lingers on the photo on the wall, a testament to a choice that changed everything.